I submitted Faraway Bird to a cinematic screenwriters contest called Screencraft. And in February, they told me that you're a finalist. And I was like, oh, that's great. And now this is Maxo, height of cancel culture. Like, you're shortlisted. They did an interview. They wanted to know more about me. I answered all their questions. And I posted on Gina Carano. And now I'm part of the culture war, and I'm on the wrong side of the culture war, according to a lot of the people in Hollywood who are very much against Gina Carano. And 2 days later, after the post, I get a notification on Facebook, and they're like, someone clicked like on your photo from 2014. And I was like, what? Who's going through my social media all the way back to 2014? It's a photograph that I took of Pedro Pascal when he was in Austin. I ran into him at a Starbucks. I took a picture of him. And back then, he was only known for his role as Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. So I wrote like, hey, I just ran into the Sand Snake at Starbucks, you know. So somebody clicked like on that photo. And to me, that was a very big signal. It was Pedro Pascal, who's on the other side of this culture war. And it was from 2014. So A, we went through your social media. And B, we like Pedro Pascal. And I didn't win any contest. Okay. Maybe that was it. Maybe that wasn't. Well, last week, I went on to the same interface because I'm considering submitting a screenplay. I went on to the same interface, and I noticed that my account is all still there. Faraway Bird is still there, but it was all set to private. So I set it to discoverable. I'm like, oh, I thought I had that set. The score for Faraway Bird put me on the leaderboard for the best manuscripts in best historical fiction. I'm sorry, no, best cinematic manuscripts to adapt a film. It's called the Red List. Coverfly's Red List. Top 20 manuscripts of all time. Faraway Bird popped up on this list. And it's an industry-backed list. I think I won that contest. And I think they switched me off because of I think that Gina Carano post hurt me at the time. They may have inadvertently done me a favor since I'm popping up now. But isn't that weird?
Wait, so you think that you would have won that contest except for the social media, and then they turned your account private so that you wouldn't be discoverable?
I think it's possible because I don't make political posts. I'm very independent. I don't make political posts, but I took Gina Carano's side in what became a cultural firestorm. It was a huge thing. Like I said, I was being attacked by my own followers because I was pro Gina, and this turned out to be like, if you're pro Gina, you're right wing. If you're anti-Gina, you're left-wing. That's really how this broke down. And so they already interviewed me. They said I was shortlisted. But after that post, they clicked, I like Pedro Pascal's picture from, 6 years ago. And then last week, when I turned my profile on that content, I turned it back on. I showed up on a leaderboard because my score for Faraway Bird was so high. It put me number 15 all time on their leaderboard for manuscripts that should be adapted to screenplays. And I was like,
very conspiratorial.
Yeah. So I was like, what the heck? I would have been on this leaderboard this whole time. So anyway, it's just weird. It was weird. It brought this whole moment back to me, the Gina Carano drama and how intense everybody got about it.
Wait, can we see this? Wow. Coverfly Red List.
Go to cover here. Coverfly Red List. Oh, number 16 all time. This is the all-time list.
Number 6, number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There we go.
Faraway Bird.
There we go.
Yeah.
From the brothels to the bathhouses, a poor girl named Theodora learns to embrace her exploitation and let go of the people she loves most. But when Theodora chooses personal sovereignty, no matter what the cost, her battle leads to an impossible destination, the throne of Byzantium, based on true events. And now we did do a stream, or did we do it in 2 streams? I don't remember. But we covered Faraway Bird here, so we went over Doug's book, Faraway Bird. So that's very cool. That's very cool.
So Coverfly has, it's like a credit score. So they said what they do is when they rate your work, it's given a certain score and it tells you how good the manuscript is. And this is, if you scroll, it's on the all-time list. So I lost the contest, but I'm one of the, it says my score was high enough to be one of the best all time for manuscripts, for historical manuscripts to be adapted into film. So, isn't that why I was
Top
shocked.
rated historical book manuscripts of all time.
Yeah,
Wow.
Tell me that's not crazy.
That's crazy good. Congratulations. That is
Yeah,
massive.
congratulations.
That's huge. That is huge.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to make this a set, but it's all based on a Gina Carano post. So they switched off my account. They didn't even rank my score until I switched my account back on. So anyway,
Well, I think that's part of the stuff that we're kind of like outraged at and like upset at is like, how is it that your work cannot be seen by people because of liking something or saying something on a post? All of a sudden, no one gets to see your work. How does I don't understand that, but that is the method of cancel culture that I hope we can figure out a way to get around it. Or
yeah, well, I was announced as a finalist in February 2021. I made the post in late February 2021, and in March 2021, I was told I didn't win anything. I wasn't even runner up. They had a winner and they had a couple runners up, or I think a first, second place, and a couple. I was none of them, and there was only like 10 of us left. So anyway, and maybe I just didn't win. It's not like that's not possible, but I just remember at the time having such anxiety over what I thought was a benign post becoming a charged post. And now you have Hollywood combing through my social media, deciding they like Pedro Pascal, that week. So anyway, it just all felt weird at the time. I remember how I felt. I was nervous about that.
It's like it is very. It's very convenient. I mean, who knows? But right, that especially it's like somebody trying to tell you this is the position you should have taken. Like this is the what? Yeah, right.
It was very weird. Well, somebody decided to go all the way back to 2014, and they found that picture. And not a lot of people were going through my social media to 2014 at the time, so it felt like it was definitely a little hint. Like, A, we went through your social media, and B, we're on the other side. So it is what it is. But who knows? It was just part of the culture war. My main. I haven't told Cameron about it yet. I think I mentioned that I was on the red list, but I didn't tell him this whole story yet.
Oh, he needs to know that story next time we're talking to him.
Yeah, I got to tell him.
Robert says they were looking for wrongthink. That's what
they might have been. I was worried about it at the time. And then last week, of all things, I just wrote an adaptation of Faraway Bird for a pilot episode. And I gave it to Cameron. I have to work on it. But because of it, I went back into this format, this cover fly. And there was my old Faraway Bird set to private. And when I turned it back on, they're like, oh, you're on the leaderboard. I'm like, what? Leaderboard? So anyway, it reminded me of how I felt during cancel culture is during the Gina Carano thing. That's the main part of the story.
That's fascinating. Very suspicious. Who knows? Maybe nothing, but certainly sounds suspicious.